welcome to WeFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene. In his International Workers' Day 2025 address, Minister Suboto Caesar praised the workers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for their resilience and contributions, particularly in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl in 2024. He highlighted the critical roles played by first responders, farmers, fishers, educators, and businesses in national recovery. The minister also outlined major labor reforms, including increased minimum wages, new parental and compassionate leave policies, extended maternity leave, and the inclusion of call center and nursing home workers under labor protections. Key legislation such as revisions to the Protection of Employment Act and the Labor Relations Bill is pending final implementation, while the Occupational Health and Safety Act is progressing toward proclamation. The nation continues to uphold international labor standards with 27 ILO conventions ratified, affirming its commitment to decent work and worker rights. Lafleur Bancorp Limited has announced that it is acquiring a controlling stake in the St. Vincent Cooperative Bank, the SVCB. The Vincentian Majority Financial Holding Company has already become a shareholder and has signed agreements with multiple stakeholders to secure majority ownership of the bank, which is currently celebrating its 80th anniversary. The proposed acquisition is subject to regulatory approval from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, under the Banking Act. Lafleur Bancorp emphasized its commitment to a transparent approval process and stated its intent to modernize and expand SVCB's services while maintaining its legacy of financial inclusion. The move aligns with Lafleur's broader mission to foster economic growth, digital innovation, and greater access to financial services throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Still on the local scene, the old treasury site came alive with rhythm and movement as dancers and enthusiasts from across St. Vincent and the Grenadines gathered to celebrate International Dance Day. Hosted by the Department of Culture within the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, the event showcased the powerful role of dance in shaping identity, expression, and healing. Performances from groups such as Lomond Leeward Anglican, La Gracia Dance Theatre Inc., and the Breakout Crew captivated the audience, highlighting the diversity and passion of local talent. Interactive breakout sessions led by Janita Komashong, Ronald Bunton, and Rayshon Adams explored the positive impact of dance on individuals and communities. On to news in the region. The government of Grenada has attributed its inability to fully implement recommendations from its third Universal Periodic Review (UPR) to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, Grenada received 148 recommendations during its UPR by the United Nations Human Rights Council. These included calls to repeal discriminatory laws against LGBTQ+ individuals and to strengthen protections against child labor and trafficking. According to a report prepared before Grenada's upcoming fourth UPR review, the pandemic diverted limited financial and human resources toward managing the health crisis, disrupting national priorities and slowing progress on human rights initiatives. The report also highlights challenges such as Grenada's vulnerability to climate change and extreme weather events, which have caused infrastructural damage and further strained resources. In a decisive ruling, the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, has ordered Venezuela to immediately halt its plans to hold elections in Guyana's Essequibo region, which Venezuela claims as its own. The ruling comes amid escalating tensions over the disputed territory, which constitutes about two-thirds of Guyana's landmass. The court emphasized that Venezuela must not take any actions, such as organizing or conducting elections, that would change the status quo, as the matter is still under judicial consideration. The ICJ stated that such unilateral moves could aggravate the dispute and violate international obligations. Venezuela had announced elections in the contested area for May 2025 intending to formalize its control over what it refers to Guyana Essequibo. Guyana, however, maintains that Essequibo has long been under its jurisdiction and governance, as recognized by international treaties and historic arbitration. Guyana's government has welcomed the ICJ's decision as a reaffirmation of its sovereignty and legal position. Guyanese President Irfan Ali stressed that the country remains committed to peaceful and lawful resolution of the border controversy. Finally, on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration on Friday proposed a $163 billion cut to federal spending next year, which would eliminate more than a fifth of the non-military spending, excluding mandatory benefit programs. The proposed budget would raise defense spending by 13% and homeland security spending by nearly 65% from 2025 enacted levels. Non-defense discretionary spending would be cut by 23% to the lowest level since 2017, the White House Office of Management and Budget said in a statement. The so-called skinny budget is an outline of administration priorities that will give Republican appropriators in Congress a blueprint to begin crafting spending bills. As Trump's first budget since reclaiming office, it sets out to make good on his promises to boost spending on the armed forces and border security while slashing the federal bureaucracy. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WeFM's Evening News, and we thank you for listening.